All right. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, we are live. Welcome to another episode of Lead Therapy. I am your host. I don't know, that's the best. That's all I got. That's all I got, folks. So this is episode 73. I've done just about 100 lives, but this is like, since I really started counting and bringing on like quality guests and stuff. I mean, this is episode 73. So, man, it's pretty crazy. It's been a long journey. Let's see who is in the chat. We're a little early, so let's see who's in the chat. We got Prep Brothers Homestead. What's going on? Davy J. What's up, Step Brothers in Christ? Oh, nice. Cool. And then look, we have Jesus in there. See, look at that. See how that works? We have Prep Brothers Homestead. What's up, Brothers in Christ? And then Jesus showed up. How about that? Randy Adams, my man. What's going on? All right, so tonight we have a very special guest. I like to think of him as a good friend. I think he's probably one of the people I look to the most when I need inspiration on a video. If I need to figure out how to maybe shoot a certain shot, or if I'm just kind of feeling bummed out, I don't really want to film, I watch some of his content. He gets me jacked up, and I hope he gets you guys jacked up too. The one, the only, KLAYCO47. KLAYCO47.
What's up, Smash?
What's up, man?
Man, I remember, 70-something episodes, dude. That's insane.
Did you see the lineup coming up?
Yeah, some big names, dude. You're pulling some really interesting people.
Dude, I actually have people reaching out to me to come on now. Blown. It's bananas. All right, let's see the chat real quick. Lucky Dog, what's up? Kanaka Hawaiian? Aloha, man. I loved Hawaii. I was in Hawaii for about a month and a half. And at the time, I loved it. But towards the end of that month and a half, I couldn't wait to get off that island, man.
You were there for a month? Was it for work?
Nah, I was unemployed, goofing off.
Oh, cool.
I learned how to surf. Well, mostly I learned how to float. And, man, have you ever been to Hawaii?
No, never.
It's a trip, man. Everyone is so polite. And like they cut you off in traffic. They're like, "Oh, brah, sorry, brah." Bananas. Kanaka will agree, but they have like Ted's Burgers. They got some really good places to eat there. Man, I miss Hawaii. It was cool. All right, we got Dustin. We got C6 Ladez. What's up, buddy? JJ Gort. Nice. So Klay, man, tell me what you've been up to, buddy. I heard you might be having a small event soon. So
what's just a little one. Man, what have we been up to lately? Went through the YouTube apocalypse in January, deleted half my content. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. So that sucked. Getting married here in about a month and a half, so that's cool. That's a constant thing that she reminds me of that I should be working on. But instead of working on my wedding, I decided to do a big event a month before the wedding, which Rachel is very pleased about. We're calling it Lethal Weapons. We do, we do the big Kalash Bash thing every year. We love the AK stuff, but I also really like retro guns, and we like 80s action movies. I think that's something every gun guy or gal can agree on. 80s action movies got it right. Like the whole attitude.
Oh,
80s hip fire, just the variants in guns that were available in the 80s. Cold War guns. There's so many, like every country attacked designing a carbine so differently from one another. And it's just, there's so many. So we thought, man, we're all into that stuff. Why don't we do something kind of like Kalash Bash, but for that kind of stuff? So we called it Lethal Weapons Texas, and it's actually happening in like 2.5 weeks. Not too far away from now.
Nice. And it's at the ranch, right?
The Ranch, Texas, in Eagle Lake, Texas, March 11th and 12th. We've already got 500 people coming out. Maybe 30 vendors signed up. Prize table's already shaping up to be $75,000 worth of prizes. 8-stage competition, camping, DJ, night vision activities at the campsite, drag racing, guns, all kinds of crazy stuff. We're jamming a lot in there.
The one thing about a Kalash Bash that blew me away was the amount of prize guns you guys give out. And, you don't have to buy stuff. You don't have to buy raffle tickets. You can, because I think the suppressor company had raffle tickets, right?
There was one vendor raffling off suppressors.
How many suppressors? You guys in the chat are your mind is gonna be blown. How many suppressors did you guys give out that night?
That vendor alone gave out like 75. We probably had another 10 on the table from other vendors. So like 80, 85 suppressors.
Man, that was bananas. I wanted one of those suppressors so bad, but I didn't get it. But I mean, Clash Bash was an absolute hit. And then you're right, 80s action flicks. I mean, I was watching Commando with my son the other day.
Yeah, man, this whole thing came about. There's a company in San Antonio called Sons of Liberty Gunworks. They're like a really high-end AR-15 manufacturer, and the guy that runs the place, his name's Mike Michalski. He's very famous in the gun world for being like extremely outspoken for like two-way rights, and he runs a really cool AR company. They're like an unapologetic Texas to the bone, just AR manufacturer. I mean, their Instagram is worth a follow, even if you're not into ARs. So Mike had come out to Clash Bash. They go to the ranch to do a bunch of testing and shooting, and they do a big carbine match there every year. Well, he was there, and I guess kind of saw Clash Bash, and he was like, damn, man, I would love to support something like this. So we got to talking, and he said the same thing. He's like, listen, dude, my favorite movie of all time is Commando. And we all, and then like everyone had that same light bulb, and me and Tony were like, well, dude, we've always thought about doing something that ARs could come out to, but I want something that everything can come out to. And what gets my freaking, what gets my jollies going is old school retro guns. All the cool stuff you saw that everyone was 80s hip firing in the 80s. I'm talking like the one scene. Think about the one scene in Predator when they think they hear something and they just cut the whole jungle down with every gun that they've brought with them. Like something like that. Like that's what I'm going for. And he's like, dude, say no more. Let's freaking do it. And we kind of had to like decide. We had just finished Clash Bash. And we thought, well, shit, it has to be a spring event. We had to announce this right now. Like as soon as we wrapped KB, we had to announce the next event. We had no plans of doing it before meeting Mike. So it was very spur of the moment, but it's come together quite nice, and it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, I always thought that'd be a cool station. You have these giant palm leaves, and you got to cut one in half, Predator style, to win. Who could cut it in half the fastest?
Dude, we're some of the stages, some of the competition stages have themes, and some of the themes we've come up with are just hilarious. It ticks all the action movie boxes for sure. The whole match was kind of themed. Like I gave homework to our match directors. I'm like, Miami Vice, every video is backed up on YouTube. Here's a couple of videos I need you to watch. I need some stages based around this stuff. So we're going to have like a Scarface stage. We're going to have a Miami Vice stage. We're going to have a Predator stage, a Terminator T2 stage, probably another Heat stage, a Point Break stage. All the cool 80s and 90s action movies. We're trying to incorporate a lot of that.
I cried at the end of Terminator 2.
Everyone did.
When he lowered himself into the molten steel. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think I was 12 or 13. Niagara Falls. Randy says, congratulations on the upcoming wedding.
Thank you. I'm just ready to get it over with, honestly.
How long have you guys been together?
Like 9 years, so
it's about time.
It's yeah, we should have got married a while ago. So I'm
you
just
guys
dealing
live
with
together?
It now. Oh yeah.
Oh, so common law marriage. You're already married technically.
Yeah. We already stopped doing bedroom stuff like 5 years ago, so it already feels like we're married.
You've entered the roommate edition of marriage. Lucky Dog says, Smash, don't forget you sign up to shuttle folks around. That is at Clash Bash. I got some personal things going on with my family, so I don't know. Hopefully I can still make Lethal Weapons. I really, really want to go out for it, but I don't know. I might have to be out in California for a little bit.
It's funny. There's a question we always get from vendors. Some vendors ask this. You'll pitch an event to them and you're like, hey, here's why, we're going to have this many people. You should come out and support, have a booth. It's going to be great. Sometimes vendors just want to know, like, I just want to know how many people are going, or they'll say, I just want to know who's filming it, what YouTube personalities are going to be out there. And believe it or not, I would tell all these vendors, I'm pretty sure Smash Time's going. And they would all just sign up on the spot.
They're like, who?
Yeah. No, but we do know Brandon Herrera and his whole crew's coming. So it's nice to name drop those guys, and vendors are like, oh shit, where do I sign? Like Brandon's always been very cool about coming out to our events, and he's a
This
good
seems like
friend. He's a good guy,
this seems like it's right up his alley.
and it's close. I mean, hell, the dude probably lives 2.5 hours away from that range in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's not far. But yeah, man. Hopefully I can make it. I really want to go. Like I am jonesing to go because I mean, who doesn't love 80s action movies? I love it.
Dude, we have a vendor coming out that does that. This vendor never goes to events. They never set up booths. Like I really had to twist their arm, and it all happened at SHOT Show. And it's DSA, the only manufacturer on the planet still making FALs. So
No kidding.
I told Tony, I'm like, bro, how are we gonna have a retro event if we can't even get DSA to come out? Like they're the only guys doing FALs, and their meeting at SHOT Show was the one I was the most nervous for because I know the owner is very particular with who he chooses to talk to and work with. And I'll put it to you this way: like walking into their booth, the attitude was, "Who are these two freaking guys?" Because if I don't know if you remember, we were dressed like a couple of '90s dads at SHOT Show with New Balance sneakers and like
Remember
jean
it.
shorts.
Yeah.
So some people didn't get it and instantly were like, "Who are these freaking nerds, dude?" So we walk up in his booth looking like that and ask for him. He doesn't know us. We don't know him. Conversation doesn't really go anywhere. Well, it turns out the owner's son recognized me from YouTube, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, that's the dude that does the AK stuff. They do Kalash Bash." And the owner kind of perked up a little bit, and we got to talking. And man, it was so cool knowing that the guys at DSA were big fans of the Kalash Bash event. So once we got rapping about that, and he says, we've always thought about going to KB, but we make FAL, so we don't really fit in. I'm like, well, you're in luck because we got something now that's right up your freaking alley. And he freaking signed up on the spot. And if there was one thing I was most proud of coming out of SHOT Show, it was signing DSA, because like I had a list of vendors I wanted to get. DSA was number one on the list, and a lot of the
Right.
vendors we didn't get, but like the holy grail ones we got. So I was super happy about that.
Who did you not get that you're kind of bummed out you didn't get?
Ooh, that's a good question. The one that I really wanted, and I honestly thought we had them, was Magnum Research. They make Desert Eagles.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Yeah, so Magnum Research also owns Thompson's. I believe it's Thompson Center. They make the modern day Tommy guns.
Right.
I know someone in the comments can probably correct me on that, but they make 50 cal revolvers, they make the Deagles, they make all the stuff, and I thought, oh, this is easy. This is an easy one. But man, the meeting didn't go well at SHOT Show. They weren't that easy to talk to. It was just a little. Some vendors, man, like just the conversations, they don't go well. I'm sure you probably talked to 50 different people while you're there. Just didn't go well. They just weren't vibing with the
Yeah.
event that we were pitching to them, and it just didn't go anywhere. And unfortunately, we ain't got any Desert Eagles coming out. And that was one that I really thought, dude, for a nostalgic event like that, you have to have Desert Eagles. But they were like, Kalash what? Bash who? What? I don't get out of my booth. That's basically how that meeting went.
Oh, that was terrible. Everyone, we have a celebrity in the chat, Mr. Graham Bates. is in the
Graham.
chats.
Bumped into Graham at the Primary Arms Range Day a little while ago. Super cool guy.
You want to talk about a thorough review.
Oh, yeah, Rachel and I watch his videos.
It's funny. I have to admit, when I get stumped a little bit, I kind of peek at it. Maybe I might peek at one of his videos just to be like, how does this work again?
It's funny. Tony and I were just talking about Graham like 2 or 3 days ago. I just filmed a PWS 7.62 by 39 AR-15. It's a gas piston, and there's not much content about those things on YouTube. Graham has a really cool interview with the owner that he filmed like 2 years ago. It's a 2-part. I sat through the whole thing, and I learned something about PWS that I didn't know. The owners started back in like '05 building AK parts kits. That massive company, Primary Weapon Systems, started off as a small shop building AK kits. Then they started making muzzle devices for AKs, and then got into the juggernaut that they are now. And I'm like, Tony, I just learned, PWS, I never really thought about these guys, but they're AK guys. Like, we should start talking to these dudes about coming out to KB in the future and get some gas piston ARs out. So I'm hoping to get in the door, at least get someone to talk to me there where I can try to pitch them. Because after shooting one of their guns, they freaking work. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I have tried to get so many 7.62 ARs to work. They always fail miserably. That gun ran its ass off for hundreds of rounds with no issues. And then that's what got me watching Graham's videos with that interview.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, dude, I just slept on this company so long.
Yeah. So the chat does confirm Car Arms owns both.
That's right. Car Arms, they own Thompson. I think it's called Thompson Center. God, I could be wrong. And they own Magnum Research.
Mr. Dale says, I can take his Desert Eagle. Thank you. I would love just to do a stage with. God, that would be so expensive.
Yeah.
A pistol stage with a deagle. That would. It's about $100 right there, easy. You know what's funny? I got to shoot a Desert Eagle for the first time about 3 months ago, and it's not that bad. We shot about 20 rounds through it. It's not that bad of a shooter. I mean, it's pretty nice.
I still have never shot one to this day.
What?
I've never shot one.
Have
I've
you
never
ever
been
peeked
around
inside?
one.
Have you peeked inside how it works?
Yeah, well, I've seen videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You expect a big kick, but it's not bad at all. Oh, we've got Nutty in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Nice. So, marriage, God, man. And, honestly, if you'd waited any longer to do this event, you'd be right smack dab in the middle of summer, and it was going to be miserable.
Yeah, we are only interested in doing events in the springtime and in the fall.
Right.
Summer events in Texas are not good.
Yeah. Like I was at the range today shooting for a little bit, and I was like, dang, I should have brought an extra hat. But luckily, here's a fun fact, kids. I went an hour and a half to the range, got breakfast, got everything filmed. Got everything loaded up, tripod, cameras, everything charged up overnight. I got all the way to the range, pulled out the magazines and the ammo boxes, but there's no rifle. There's no rifle in the back. I left the rifle at home. So I got to drive out, say hi to the range guy, and then come home. It was terrible.
Yeah, you got to have that. You got to have the guns and the ammo.
Yeah. A rifle is pretty necessary.
Yeah.
So I had a pistol with me that I wasn't planning on doing a video, so I kind of did like a little makeshift, just not to waste time, but what a maroon. That's the second time I've done that. Lucky Dog says it's not as bad as you would think. It's about as yeah, it's a big heavy gun. It soaks up the recoil. Nobody would loan me
one. I'm sure I could. I haven't really been on the hunt. I'm sure I could get my hands on one. But I don't know anyone that owns one. See, viewers offer me guns all the time to review, but the logistics of shipping, I've had some bad experiences, getting people's guns in and then shipping it back, and it's just a freaking nightmare because it's shipping guns is difficult unless you're constantly sending it through FFLs. It's always just a pain. So I've relied on local people to borrow guns for videos. I don't know anyone local with a Desert Eagle yet.
Well, Mr. Dale, he actually lives right up by in that general area. So, and I think he's a part-time RSO now at Renaissance. He's there so much. So he's a good guy to know.
We've probably met then. I practically live out there.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, his is a 44. Yeah, that's cool. You can actually get a conversion. So you can get a different sliding barrel and have it 44 or I think it's just the barrel. I think in the conversion, you can do just the barrel, make it a 50 AE Action Express or a 44. Very cool gun. So what other vendors do you have coming out? But DSA is huge.
Here, I'll tell you.
Let's go through the list.
So I know Century Arms will be out there. We needed someone to bring out MP5 variants, and now they're bringing in all of the AP5s and the Ks, all the Turkish stuff. So they're going to have some MP5s at our drag race attraction. They're going to be giving away a bunch of Canics, bunch of cool stuff like that. I got a list here. When I go on memory, I always screw this up.
Is Adam coming out?
Adam will not be there, man. Dude, they keep that guy so freaking busy. He's missed He missed Kalash Bash last year, and he's gonna miss Lethal Weapons this year.
I've been looking online for a cool shirt to wear out to this event. Something with pineapples, puka shells, and pineapples. Very 80s. Real quick, Craig Johnson in the chat says, "What is your thoughts on the AK-50?"
I think it's. Did he get so mad if I said this?
Do it.
I think the AK-50 is great for content because it's never going to get done, so it's something you can always talk about and show updates on.
Don't they have a working, functioning version?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm not so sure, and I don't want to like ruin the magic here, but I'm not so sure that thing was ever supposed to get finished. But it's something that anytime you post about it, it gets a ton of views. People are excited and they like talking about it. So the longer it doesn't get finished, the better. You can make way more videos about updates along the way.
Right? It's like a car build that never gets finished.
So FM Products, Foxtrot Mike, he'll be out there again.
Nice.
Gun NATO, they're going to have like 100 machine guns for people to come out and shoot. Resilient Suppressors, AGM Global, Night Vision Thermal guys. They're also going to have, we're going to do Night Vision and Thermal 3-on-3 skirmishes at the campsite with airsoft guns. So if you want to camp, you'll get to do that for free. JMac Customs, everybody loves JMac. INTL Milco, they actually do Russian paint. They're going to have a ton of retro guns out there for you guys to shoot. AmmoGuy.net, we'll have ammo on site for really cheap prices. They're actually local too.
They make it or remanufacture?
They just sell it. They don't make it or reman it. They're just an ammo dealer. But for you AK guys, they've got 545, 762, and 223 steel case like all the time. The stuff that you can't really find right here in Houston. And they do local pickups if you don't want to pay shipping. PSA, Firebird Targets, Magpul, Big Tex Ordnance. Big Tex, they're right here in Conroe. DSA, IWI, Vortex, Reardon. Reardon makes muzzle devices. Gun Owners of America, Wraith Defense, Gun Butter, our first lubricant manufacturer. Never had one of those.
Gun Butter. I like the sound of that.
Wraith Defense and Ammo Supply Warehouse are going to have like a ton of cool surplus. Those are always my favorite vendors. They just have tables of surplus stuff. Samson Manufacturing, first time they've ever come out. They're the guys that make the modern folding stocks. Well, the modern retro folding stocks for Mini 14s, like the A-Team folders. They're remanufacturing them, which is kind of cool for a retro event. AKT1 Sport, Hunter's Gold, No Remorse Coffee will be out there making coffee for you guys free of charge all weekend. And serving breakfast at the campsite. Dead Air Suppressors, Heli Gunner. We'll have to remind me to talk about Heli Gunner. That's a very special part of the event. Collector's Firearms. Love those freaking guys. HTX Tactical. Blue Force Gear. Black Tip Supply. They make special ammo. Hub City Outdoors. Iron Curtain Customs. So back to the helicopter thing. Have you ever flown on a helicopter? First question.
No, but I would love to.
So I probably know the answer to my second question. Have you ever gotten to shoot guns out of a helicopter before? Probably can't have B without A, right? So
just in my dreams.
There's going to be a vendor on site called Heli Gunner. They're based in Texas. They do a bunch of mill sims, all kinds of cool stuff. Helicopter hog hunts. These dudes and girls, the pilot's a female, are literally going to have a helicopter landing and taking off all weekend long, taking people up for 6-minute trips with a 50-round drum and an AR flying you off-site while you hang out of this helicopter and hose targets until the gun goes empty, and then they fly you back. They're selling tickets for that right now, and they're going to be selling tickets for that on-site. You can literally hop in a helicopter and go dump a mag and come back within a 6-minute turnaround.
How? Yeah. Take my money. How much is it? Like $300?
Dude, it's less. It's like $275. Yeah, dude, I've already bought tickets. I bought my friends some tickets. Like, I thought you're never going to get a chance to get a 6-minute flight to dump ammo for less than $300. And dude, this is like this is like half price from what they usually charge to do something like this. So it's special event pricing.
Wait.
It's crazy.
$275 includes the ammo and all that? That's
everything included. It's $275 and your ass. You get in. They have they have a person that sits next to you, and they get the gun ready. They hand you the gun. They strap you in. You literally hang out of this thing, and they fly you to a neighboring lot, and they have targets set up on the ground. And you just get to rain down on the targets. Who cares if you even hit them? Until the gun goes empty, they want you to fully shoot all the ammo, 50 free rounds included with your ticket, and then they fly you back. You're in the air for like 6 whole minutes.
Dude, that is so freaking cool.
Dude.
I wonder if they have like a GoPro on a stick or something taping you.
Yeah, so they said anyone that like wants someone to hold their cell phone or whatever, like they'll help you film.
Bro, I have the Insta360 on that long pole. I guess I could stick that kind of out.
Yeah.
That would be pretty epic, man.
Yep.
Dude, sign me up. That they're doing that both days?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
I gotta go, man. That's it.
So,
I'm going.
They're if you go to heligunner.com, they have tickets for sale. There's like a lethal weapons tab you can click on, and then you buy time slots when you want to take your flight. And if you haven't bought one when you get on site, whatever slots are still available, you can buy a ticket on site and just walk over there.
So you go up by yourself, or can you bring someone with you to film?
Because the chopper is so small, the way they explain it to me is it's one person at a time. But they have someone in there that will absolutely hold your phone, hold your camera, do whatever you want to, because they know everyone wants to film it, obviously. So
yeah,
they do this. This is literally what they've been doing this for 10 years. Like, they know exactly how to film you. They'll do anything you want them to do. They're really good at it.
Dude, you just sold me 1,000%.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it.
I know my parents won't see this, but my dad is terrified of flying, and I'm gonna buy him a ticket to it. Just not say anything. I'm gonna be like, Dad, you got this thing at the campsite I signed you up for. Head over there, and just make him go there. And they're like, all right, you Kelvin, let's go. You're up. And he's gonna be like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. Should I won't do anything I can't control. He's just like, he's just old, and that's just how he thinks. But
right, we do have some questions. Justin Witt wants to know, what kind of gun do you carry? Do you carry every day or kind of every day?
Man, sometimes I'm lazy and I just don't. But when I do, it's a Glock 43. I need to bump up to the 43X. I've just had my 43 so long, I've just never upgraded. Rachel carries the 43X with a Hollow Sun.
Pineapple is a swinger shirt. Okay, never mind.
No, it is. That's exactly what it is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until someone told me I was wearing one. J-Mac from J-Mac Customs. He goes, "Hey man, you know those pineapple Hawaiian shirts usually means that you're like into swinging." I'm like, "Dude, what?"
No way.
It's like, "Yeah, man." So I stopped wearing that shirt.
Nice. Graham Bates asked how you liked his video.
Oh, loved it. Like I say, I showed Tony the video because I thought it was so cool that the owner used to build AK parts kits. I'm like, an AR manufacturer used to build AK parts kits? This guy's speaking my language. We can be friends. I want to meet this guy.
Yeah, yeah. Dale says, no thanks. He's one of these tactical guys that have actually done real stuff. So
yeah,
hanging out of a helicopter for him.
Well, for this nerd, it sounds pretty cool, so I'm doing it.
Yeah. Gort says, sounds like Vietnam. Maybe. That'd be pretty sweet.
Oh, dude. Yeah, Fortunate Son intensifies. Like, I'm so ready for it.
What's the ultimate AK caliber, best for full-size AK and best for a crink? Ooh. Is this a personal question or is this common knowledge kind of a thing?
The smart answer is 7.62 because it has a ton of velocity out of a short barrel. The selfish answer is 5.45 because it just feels so awesome to shoot. But ballistically out of a short barrel kind of does the same thing 5.56 does. It just tumbles.
Yeah, right? Smash it, don't shoot your camera. Yeah, I know, right? That'd be funny.
I can just see your stick get caught in the rotors and the camera disappears and you're just like
oops.
you hope no one noticed.
It's Smash's birthday. Get him a free ride. Oh man, that would be sweet. But no, it's all right. Send your wife. I know, right? She would do it. She would absolutely do it.
Yep.
I hope the gun is strapped in too, because can you imagine dropping it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know how they I bet the gun's tethered somehow.
Yeah, has to be. Dustin says he carries a Glock Gen 3 9mm. Nice. So lethal weapons. So you're doing this. Do you think this is gonna help you build up Kalash Bash even more?
I mean, Kalash Bash is as big as it can get for that property. I hope it doesn't get bigger than it is. Kalash Bash, like 1,000 people, can't get any bigger than that. Lethal Weapons, the main idea was I get so wrapped up in AKs because that's honestly where my passion is. I mean, just freaking look around me. Like, it is. I just can't get enough of AK stuff. But the AK world is very small in comparison to everything else that's out there. So, as far as these events go, there's so many vendors I would love to work with that just don't do AK stuff. And I don't mean work with, I mean vendors I want to come out and be in the community and be in front of people and like let people shoot their guns and hang out and meet the people buying all their stuff. You can't do that just doing AK events. So with Lethal Weapons, it opens the door to more diversity with vendors. Right. So that was kind of the big point. Like, don't really want to get pigeonholed into just AKs, but that's my heart will always be there. But I definitely want a door to do other stuff as well. And Lethal Weapons is kind of like a vessel to do that.
Yeah, it'd be funny if you. I was thinking about this. Like you mentioned, Brandon Herrera's coming out. Wouldn't it be funny if he did remember those portraits those actors in the 80s used to give out? They'd hand out their autograph on their picture. Back in the olden days, that's how they used to give autographs out. You could have him there signing autographs on his own face and handing it out to people. I think that'd be hilarious.
I don't
think he'd go for it though.
I think we've even talked about this before. Like I've known Brandon long enough where I don't want to be the one like asking him to like do celebrity shit. You know what I mean? Like he literally bought tickets. Like he bought a ticket. His crew bought tickets for Kalash Bash. I just always give them all press passes and say, "Come on in, suckers." He just reached his out and I remember how it happened. The whole YouTube thing was going on where the accounts were getting deleted and videos were getting strikes like crazy.
That was a very stressful few weeks, man.
Oh, God. And Brandon was the one I was texting. I'm like, bro, what the hell do I do, man? I'm about to lose my channel. And this will all come out later, but Brandon...
How many strikes did you get total?
2? I got 2. I was on the verge of losing my channel. However, even the guys that lost their channel got it back. So it would have sucked to lose the channel, but I would have gotten it back anyway. But Brandon, this is all going to come out eventually. Brandon and some of these other massive gun channels, and I even think Crenshaw got involved, really held YouTube's feet to the fire and got them to acknowledge that there was some glitch. And all that stuff went away. All the strikes went away. Anyway, it was after Brandon was like giving us all this information that I never would have got. I'm not at that level. Not, my circle, we're not at that level to like be getting this type of information of what was going to happen. And he put me in a group chat with some other guys and like Ian from Forgotten Weapons, and he's kind of trickling down what he's hearing from YouTube headquarters, and it was like kind of putting everything at ease. And then once it all went away, he told us how it went away, and I was like, dude, Brandon, like what you and all your guys did to make YouTube completely turn around on this, bro, like come hang out at Lethal Weapons, dude, on me. He's like, oh, dude, I already bought tickets. And I was like, you bought tickets? Like, bro, you don't need to buy tickets. He's like, no, I wanted to. So him and his whole crew. So when someone like that buys tickets, the last thing I'm going to do is be like, hey, come do some celebrity shit and kiss some babies and shake some hands, Like, dude just wants to come out and have fun, so I'm totally going to leave him alone and hope people kind of leave him alone too.
Yeah, it's funny. I bugged him for a picture at Kalash Bash just because he was all by himself and he wasn't like bothered. I'm like, well, fuck. But I've had the opportunity to bug him 3 or 4 times. I've just not done it because he's just a dude trying to get to the bathroom and take a piss. He doesn't. Can you just not bother him so he can go? And I was like, I got to at least get one picture. But yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy.
He honestly is a very cool dude. Very normal, cool dude.
Dustin Witt, so they opened a Sportsman Warehouse in his local area. That's a big thing, man, especially if you don't have a lot of places to go shop. Sportsman Warehouse is not bad. Not bad at all. Super Geo Killer says, got my mom to perm my mullet for Lethal Weapons.
Super Geo Killer is one of the bad Johnnies that works at Sons of Liberty Gun Works.
Dude, that is so
super
funny.
Cool, dude.
I'm expecting a badass perm.
Yeah, like Like
It better
literally
be.
something you can whip back and forth.
It better be luxurious. Craig Johnson smashing KLAYCO. That's right. KLAYCO should go first though in that one. Me the people says, are you the guy who can tell me history about my Mac 90? I have not been able to find anyone who can tell me when it was imported other than sometime in the 90s.
Uh, I guarantee you can find the answers you're looking for on the Misha Code channel. That's probably like the source on AK importation. He's got a video on everything, when it came in, who imported it, what they had for breakfast that morning. Like he could tell you everything about it. But I mean,
Yeah,
generally Mac 90s are they're all ban compliant. 94 to, you know, they stopped coming in the late 90s, but during the 90s, post ban, post assault weapons ban, so it's featureless. That's just, you know. So it came in from 94 to like, I think the Chinese importation ban happened in like 98. So somewhere between 94 and 98 is probably when your gun came in.
Yeah, so oh shucks, what was I gonna say?
Something really smart.
Really important. It's completely gone now. I've had a rough day. Very rough day. Craig Johnson says, Smash and KLAYCO, what's your gun of combo for shit hits the fan, rifle and sidearm? I will go first. I will just take a regular AR-15 just because I know it. It's easy to work on. There's parts everywhere, and there's ammo everywhere. There's 223, 5.56 is everywhere. For sidearm, I don't know, man. I'm a big XD fan, but I might have to go with Glock just for the same reason. A lot of people carry them, so that's my two. Yeah, oh God, saying I like Glock out loud, it eats me up inside. Blech.
It's like I don't know what the word for it is, but for people that don't really care, they just want something that works, like no frills. It's like a small block Chevy 350, man. There's a freaking million of them out there. There's so many people making parts. They're so reliable, so easy to work on, so easy to use.
That's what you should have got for your lethal weapons, because Glocks still look the same since the 80s.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it, you know?
Yeah. So what's your rifle of choice? You have an old reliable somewhere?
I'm thinking something in 5.45 because I'll never be able to find the ammo or the mags. It'll be completely unobtainium for shit hits the fan. But for the first 200 rounds that I can carry on my body, it'll be a major flex. It'll be super cool. As soon as I run out of ammo and mags, I'm going to be screwed. But for that short period of time, I'm going to be the coolest dude on the block with the coolest gun. Pistol-wise, a Browning high power in 9mm. The mags will be difficult to find, but I'll be able to find the ammo, and it will be a major flex to be in the apocalypse with a Browning high power.
See, I didn't even think about the flex aspect of it. I thought you were like, let me get a 9 Markov.
I want dudes trying to smoke me to like loot my body because my guns are going to be so cool. That's what I want.
All right. That's all right. Graham Bates is having a good night. Good night, Graham. Thank you for stopping by. Carolina EDC. Hola, amigos. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasó, amigo? I wish I knew more
Quieres, way.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasa ese? Drop it like it's Scott. What's up, man? Oh, it's Misha. So you were telling me the Mishiko. You said, man, I just had this guy on my it was one of my favorite lives I've ever done. So I went and I immediately, as soon as we hung up, I popped it on. I watched it from beginning to end. I did not know he was blind either.
You know, so many people in the comments were figuring it out in the heat of the moment.
Everybody in the chat, really quick. This guy that knows everything about AKs, everything, is blind. Like, how blind is he? Like, a little blind or blind?
Blind. Not only that, he knows everything about almost everything. He has an FFL. He's a gun dealer and is blind as a bat, has been since birth. He was also a school teacher, lived in Russia for a few years teaching, did all that while blind, and started a successful YouTube channel talking about color changes, stampings, all this stuff that you kind of need eyesight to really see. Knows it better, has forgotten more about it than you and I, and has never physically seen any of it.
That
and it's pretty incredible.
and you know, so I went on his channel and I watched some of his older videos, and you're right. If you didn't know he was blind, you
If you didn't know, you just thought dude's wearing sunglasses indoors. Bold statement. That's what I thought for so long.
very retro, but man, that dude really, knows his stuff.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, very cool. Lucky Dog says, Misha is the dude.
He's the dude. He's the duder.
Craig John says AK and Glock are the correct answer. Boo. Can it take the ammo out of the mags? That's true too. That is true.
Canics are awesome.
The first two numbers of the serial numbers is the year, started in 89, ended in 94, from what I understand. That's for you, me the people. Nice. So here's something. Lethal weapons. We know the vendor's coming. The helicopter thing is a trip. What do you got lined up for food this time? What do we got?
I think we have too many food trucks. I'll tell you, we got Bougie Barbecue, Gourmet Barbecue. This guy literally wins cooking competitions all over Texas. He came out last year. He was the most popular food truck. So he will be there. We also have...
We need some meat on sticks.
He's got meat on sticks. You can get meat on sticks from him.
Yeah.
We have Minch's Tacos. They are going to be serving tacos and other Mexican delights at the campsite Saturday night, exclusively campsite. We have the Sip Factory. They make really tasty alcoholic beverages and other like sweets. They do desserts.
Nice.
They're going to be serving at the campsite Friday and Saturday night. During the day, we have Cajun Eats and Sweets, Cajun food, Cajun desserts. About a month after Mardi Gras, no big deal. Still kind of still in the same theme. Pops is actually it's a local food truck. It's like a brand new, super nice food truck. They make gourmet hot dogs, popcorn, like a bunch of I call it like walking and eating food, like something you can walk and eat with your hands. And then we have the Groovy Taco, very good taco trucks. That's going to be our daytime taco vendor. So we got gourmet hot dogs, tacos, some of the best barbecue and meat on a stick you've ever had.
I'm going to do a
Sip
smash time
Factory.
review of your food trucks.
I'm telling you, Bougie Barbecue is still going to be the best.
Yeah.
They're that good. They're so good. They're catering my wedding. Like I'm paying these guys like $3,000. The food's so good to come cater the wedding.
Yeah, they were at Clash Bash, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I had their food. It was pretty good. Honestly, if you wanted to crush it at an event like this, all you need is a deep fryer and a bunch of Snickers and just deep fry Snickers. You'd crush it.
So Pops does some things like that.
Oh,
They like their gourmet hot dogs. That's like 30% of what they do. Everything else, it's the deep fried treats. It's the popcorn. It's the finger foods. Pops is going to be a really popular one.
Drop It Like It Scott says, what is the menu for? Well, it's for Lethal Weapons, which is an event in Texas. Well, it's not Houston, Texas, right? Where is it at?
Eagle Lake. It's about an hour northwest of Houston.
Yeah, northwest of Houston. You should come out for this, Scott. It's going to be a great time. I mean, if it's anything like
bring your
Clash Bash-
dad. Your dad's going to be right at home at this type of event.
Dude, I tell you what, I had so much fun at Clash Bash. I wish I would have went both days, not just one.
So that's why he didn't win anything.
I know. I was so mad. I was sitting there and I was like a crackhead rocking back and forth. Like, I want to win something. I couldn't film though. That bummed me out. Like all the grand prize stuff. My video was so dark. I was so bummed out.
Yeah, it got dark.
Yeah. G-Man, R-Man. If I could go, I would bring my 308 Galil from the 80s.
No, damn.
Valmet 308. Oh.
Damn, he's got some nice stuff. Both of those guns are worth a lot of money.
What's a Valmet? I've heard you talk about a Valmet a bunch of times. Do you have one?
Valmet is it's an AK variant. It's Finnish made. It's the Finnish Valmets were Valmet, however you want to pronounce it. That's where it was like their take on an improved AK. It's basically just a really churched up Gucci AK. They're really not that much different, but they were, for the most part, all chambered in 223, 556. They made 762 by 39 variants. They made like an RPK ish. Like if you, the movie Commando, you love the movie Commando.
I
Most
love
people
it.
think in that movie that he's like carrying an RPK. That's actually a Valmet with the 23-inch barrel. Kind of looks like, if you close your eyes, kind of looks like an RPK. It's the finished version, like their take on an RPK. A little bit different, basically the same thing. Much higher quality, much more attention to detail. Sighting system's a little bit different. They put their iron sight on the dust cover. But it was so good that later Israel was so impressed with it, they wanted their own like AK thing. So they basically copied the finished Valmet, added a folding stock off of an FAL, and you got the Galil. So first came the AK, then came the finished Valmet. It was so impressive. The Israelis basically ripped it off, and we got the Galil.
Nice. Hey, I want to ask you a question. Since we're talking about 80s movies, and we got to talk about Red Dawn, which is such a, I mean, I like the remake too. That's one movie. The remake wasn't that bad. I kind of liked it. I thought it was cool. It could have been a lot worse.
You might be in the minority on that.
It could have been worse. I'm just saying, it could have been worse. Were the guns in Red Dawn? I've wanted to ask you this question for a long time. Were they historically accurate to that time, or did they just kind of throw any AK in there?
Most of
the same to me.
Most of everything in that movie would have been Egyptian Mahdi's, which are they're as close as you can get to a Russian AKM, because Egypt actually got data packs, tooling, and Russian advisors to manufacture them. When that movie was made, there weren't a whole lot of AKs in the country. Some of the first ones to ever come in were the Egyptian AKs and some really early, the old KLAYCO Chi-Com Chinese imports. But for the longest time, Egyptian Mahdi's were everywhere. That's like all you could get, which is why in the 80s, early 80s, you would see a lot of Egyptian AKs in movies that needed an AK, because that's just what they could get their hands on.
Right.
So that's what you see a lot in that movie. So as far as Russians invading, they would have had a Russian AKM. The Egyptians made basically an exact clone of a Russian AKM. It's all the same spec. It's just got, it's close enough, yes.
Yeah. You didn't like the remake? I thought it could have been.
I'm just not sure that movie needed to be remade. Just like the movie Point Break did not need to be remade. It was so good. That remake
was terrible. True. I will give you that. But I thought, it was, at least they didn't try and copy it word for word. They actually had like a fresh spin on it. It wasn't that bad. It's another remake that I thought wasn't bad was Total Recall.
Man, I think it may have been a while since I saw the remake of that.
That's pretty good. It was, they had some throwbacks to the original movie, and I thought it was great. I thought Total Recall, the remake, was really good.
What did you think of Blade Runner?
Didn't hate it.
I thought it was kind of cool. The remake.
Cool.
But that's like, the original was so awesome for the time it was made. So awesome. Movies like Fifth Element, don't ever remake that.
Oh, no.
Blade Runner, so good. Point Break, one of my all-time favorite action movies ever. I know every line of that movie should never have been remade. And Wolverines, man, it's just, that movie couldn't be made in any other time other than the 80s, and it should have just stayed there, man. In my opinion, it was so freaking good.
Yeah.
It was just perfect.
I mean,
but then you have movies like Top Gun. The new Top Gun was kind of freaking badass.
Well, it wasn't a remake. It was just...
Correct. It was like a continuation.
Yeah.
But it was badass.
I loved it, man. I saw it twice. I saw it 2 days in a row. Yeah, I thought Top Gun was bananas. So good. All right, let's see. Craig Johnson says, any advice on how to get rid of the wobble in my Zastava M70 side folder when it's folded?
Well, they never came factory with folders, factory folders. So basically, wherever you bought it from, I think they're using aftermarket folders. So they're either using like Circle 10, AK, folding adapters. They're called Ace folders. I don't like them. It's aluminum. It's aluminum folded them with steel screws. The screws strip out. All that stuff starts to loosen up over time. It's just not great.
Yeah.
If you want a folding stock on those things that work, one of the best ones I've ever found without going like JMac or whatever. JMac's an option. The bone steel braces, they're really hard to get, but man, it's basically like a Galil style stock that folds and can be adapted to almost any AK. Those are some of the best, but they're really hard to get. If you want a folding stock that's attainable, you can buy a pick mount adapter for SIG stocks. JMac makes one. Take your stock off. It's easy. It's one bolt. Whole stock comes off. Yugo pattern AKs, whether they're milled or stamped in the back, they just have like a big puck with a threaded hole. It is literally the easiest stock to change out on any AK ever. Put a piece of pick in there. JMac sells it, and now you're opened up to the wide world of SIG style stocks. And SIG doesn't make junk. They are tight when they're folded. They're tight when they're unfolded. It's as good as it gets.
Those things are very tight when they're folded to pop that sucker. Actually, when it's open, just to close them sometimes, they need a little bit of work in time.
Yeah, because it's like a hinge that comes together, and you have to like break the hinge and fold it. They are tight at first.
They are super tight. Let's see. Scott said he's got a X5 Legion yesterday. That's a fantastic gun. I have that.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
They're nice. Wolverines. One of my favorite quotes. He goes, "Hey, I know this sub shop right around the corner. Why don't you get me a sandwich while you're out? Utah, get me two. A meatball sub.
Best meatball subs I've ever had.
Give me two. I could relate to that guy.
Yeah, I love Pappas was his name in the movie. I love that character.
Yeah, I love how he. Hey, any of you guys seen two kids run by? Someone stole my radio.
Yeah, I love when Utah gets them all worked up. And he's like, yeah, maybe you'll sit around, tell Nom stories. He's like, hey, I was taking sniper fire in Cape Sod when you were popping zits on your funny little face. I'm like, dude, you don't get those angry Vietnam vets anymore, man. Like, that was like early 90s stuff.
Yeah. G-Man R-Man says, I have two B West AKs. Has KLAYCO heard of B West?
Yes. Sold a B West, had a Type 56S that was a B West import. B West is just the import. Just the importer that it came in. It's really no different than any other Type 56 that would have been imported from some other place. But I want to say, I don't remember where B West came in. Maybe they were California. But you had like I think they're called Sile or the Sealy imports that came in through New York. There's all different types of importers that were bringing Chinese AKs in. So you'll see different importer names and cities where they came in on all that. This country was flooded with Chinese imports for a long time. There's a ton of them.
Yeah. I wish I had one. What is your favorite gun movie? His is Tears of the Sun.
That's a good one. I don't know if it's a
gun movie for like the whole movie. There's so many good ones. Heat is fucking great.
I know people always say Heat, but dude, the collection of guns in that movie is awesome. You have a Galil ARM, all the Colt 733s, a freaking FNC, 20-inch A2s, the FALs from the armored car scene. So many good guns. That's a good one.
That's a hard question.
I know the answer because I just watched it the other day, and I remember sitting there going, damn, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I love the Nicolas Cage Lord of War movie. Love it. As just a gun guy movie, there's a lot of cool stuff in that movie.
That is pretty cool. That is a pretty cool movie. Man, gun movie.
Heat's a good one. I don't think Point Break doesn't have a whole lot of different types of guns. The bank robbery stuff's awesome, but it's got some good stuff. There's like, there's a full auto Steyr AUG in that movie. They're all using like old Smith and Wessons and 1911s. Not a whole lot of cool carbines in the movie though.
You know what? It's a kind of a random movie that I saw a couple years ago. I really loved was Enemy at the Gates. Have you seen that?
It's an older movie, right?
Yeah, it's like 15 years old.
Maybe.
Where they didn't have enough guns. It was a Nazi versus Russian movie. So they didn't have enough guns, so you had to follow the guy that had the gun. As soon as he got shot and killed, you picked his gun up. That's how, and then he turned into like this crazy sniper. If you've never seen Enemy at the Gates,
Man,
bro,
maybe not.
dude, it's dope. It's
Yeah,
a
I'll have to check it
really
out.
good movie. Like it's like I used to download a lot of movies illegally. Boo on me. And I remember I was checking the quality on this one, and I ended up I couldn't stop watching it. I just wanted to see if it was good quality, and I stuck it in, and I was like, "Holy shit!" It had me for it was like 2 hours. I couldn't stop watching. It was so good. That's a good. You should pop it in, man. After the chat, Enemy at the Gates. It's pretty dope.
Boys' night. I don't have any women in the house, so we might do that.
You can do whatever you want. Let's see.
John Wick's a good one. It's good, but it's so new. Like when I think gun movies, I start at like 1999 and like work my way backwards, and I have to
Right.
think, oh, there have been some recent good gun movies because so much good stuff was, in the 80s and 90s. But there have been John Wick's a great example that there's good modern day gun guy movies.
Yeah. Finesse is a lady, so we know why she likes John Wick. We all know. Let's see. Back to the Future. That's the movie where I decided someday I would own an AK. Oh,
Oh,
'cause he
the
shoots
Libyans.
shots.
Yeah, he's got a Mahdi in that scene. I literally geeked out the other day when we watched it. I was like, pause it. That's a
Yeah.
Mahdi. That's an 80s movie. That's all they could get at the time. That's a Mahdi.
Craig Johnson says, "Remember when Nick Cage does a line of coke with powder from the 70s? Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah, what did they call it? Oh, I just watched the movie. Damn, they had a name for it when they would mix gunpowder with it. Ugh. I can't think of it.
Matrix. You know, Matrix is a pretty good gun movie.
The
I like
first
it,
Matrix is a good answer, yes.
I need guns.
Dude, just the lobby scene. You had VZ61 Scorpions, like 9mm Scorpions, MP5Ks, Spaz 12 shotguns, A2 M16s.
You want to talk about a movie that should never have had a sequels? Fucking Matrix, man. It was so great. That third one was dog shit.
Man, the second one I like.
The second one wasn't bad. The third one,
The scene where
terrible.
Morpheus has the full auto Glock and the freaking sword, and he like slices the Cadillac and just it's that slow motion scene where he's dumping that full auto Glock and the car blows up and kills the two twins. Still,
Dude,
I was
trying
like
to shoot some slow motion today, man. It's so
Oh, yeah.
hard.
I was in high school when the second Matrix came out, and I just really liked it.
Yeah. Lone Survivor. You know, that's not a bad movie. God, you know, when you watch that movie, it's hard to watch knowing that
Yeah.
guy, like, as they're falling down that mountain, I can't. Oh, the bones breaking. I would have shot that kid. I would have tied him up. I wanted to let him go free. That's suicide.
I just watched Sicario 2 last night. Sicario 1 and 2, they've got some pretty sick ass guns in those movies too.
Never watched it.
Oh, dude, they're so good. So good.
There's
Sicario
that
2 has a
show
lot
I
of
wanna start
HK
watching.
stuff.
There's a new show I want to start watching. It's that Western. Everyone keeps talking about it. Yellow something. Everyone in the chat, what's that Western show everyone's into right now?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Have you seen it?
My parents never shut up about it, man. I got like halfway through the first season. It wasn't really for me. So I never really stuck with it.
Yeah, it's like Red Dead Redemption as a video game. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's such the greatest video game ever." I'm like, I hate
Now
it.
that I have to disagree with you.
I don't like getting on a horse and
Dude.
trotting around. Ugh.
Red Dead Redemption 2 dude, it's honestly the last game I ever dedicated my life to. Like after RDR 2, I kind of stopped playing video games. I really have not played video games since. And that game came out like what, 4 or 5 years ago. It was to me the greatest game the greatest story, single player story I've ever played, hands down. It was so
Even better
good.
than The Last of Us.
Well, I never played The Last of Us, but I know it's good.
That Last of Us is pretty good. The TV show's dog shit.
Yeah, I was on the fence about watching it, but
Don't.
Red Dead Redemption 2, like the way it all ends, if you kind of played the game as like a good dude or a bad dude, like the way it ends, depending on the choices that you made, That's the game that will kind of choke you up at the very end. And then they bring in the character from the first Red Dead Redemption, John Marston. It's just so good.
I have it. It's sitting right here. I guess I'll play it.
Because I played the first one all the way through, so I knew like everything about the first one. And if you'd played the first one all the way through, there's so many little Easter eggs that make the second one even better if you know all the history from the first game.
Nah. I'll pass. I like Fallout. I'm Fallout fanatic.
Fallout's awesome. It is. It's awesome.
Like, well, it got real cheesy. It's funny. Fallout 76 started out as a great online game. Then they started releasing all this booster packs and extension packs where you could buy funny helmets and shit. And now they've taken it because it's a moneymaker. So now they have
all games are that now. All games are pay to play. You need to. Everything's too expensive, so you keep spending money on a credit card to like unlock credits. All games are like that.
Yeah.
Now.
So it went from a really good online game to trying to get all of the Fortnite kids to play it because it's so stupid now. It's dumb. Fallout lost its soul.
Yeah.
And
the
dude,
last Fallout, I think Fallout 3 was the last one I played all the way through, and Fallout 3 was awesome.
Fallout 4 was really good.
Yeah, Fallout 4 looked good, but I never
But
just never bought it.
76, I was already like level 1600 when everyone else was cruising around at 2. I mean, I went bananas. I had like 3,700 hours in that game. Like, lived it. It was like a second job. I play like 6-7 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, saying that out loud, what a loser.
Super Geo Killer. I didn't even think about that. The Terminator movies, Terminator 1 and 2, have some great guns in them.
Yeah, that is true. China Lake, yep. Craig Johnson, if I want to suppress a ZPAP M70, do I need a KNS adjust? This is your question, man. I have no clue.
Dude, any 7.62 or 5.56 AK that you're going to suppress a lot, yes, at 100%. 5.45 AKs, I've noticed I can get away with not. My 74 suppresses really good without one, but 5.56 AKs 100% do it. 7.62, yeah, 99% of the time, yes. It's just way too overgassed already to function. Now you're adding a freaking muffler on the end that adds even more back pressure. The gun's just going to be really violent. It's not good for it to be that overgassed that many times. Just put a piston in it.
Jeff Coleman has a good point. Modern first-person shooter games lack the weird sense of humor games in the 90s had. Did you ever play SOCOM?
Yeah.
I had my own clan. I was balling deep.
That was the first
SOCOM.
online shooter I ever played. I think I was a freshman in high school. Navy SEAL SOCOM Online. My buddy had it at his house on a PlayStation 2. Remember the headset had like it had like a seal fin on this side? And I remember thinking, the future is freaking now. Where I'm like, I'm literally playing against real people, and we get to shoot like military guns. It was awesome. And I remember, that was the first time. I know it had been like a thing on Counter-Strike and all that. I never got into computer gaming, so SOCOM was the first time I'd ever done a first-person shooter. And I remember like, that's the first time I saw where after you like shot someone, you could literally teabag over their body or like do a backflip on them. I'm like, this is so cool. And dude, that was like 2003. It was so long ago.
So when Confrontation came out, I got really into SOCOM. I mean, big time. And man, I got to tell you, I took that game to another level. I loved it so much. But that game, no matter how good you were, it was a team game. Mm-hmm. You can't win it by yourself, no matter what. And now, like, Call of Duty is real easy for me. Like, it's just the whole respawn stuff is boring. Like, all the shooters now are just real easy. You don't have to think. But and I remember in the lobby on SOCOM, you'd have to like game plan and strategize. I'm like, okay, you go here, you go here.
I think the game that did it best as far as not just being like mindless shoot 'em ups. Call of Duty, if you just want mindless, fast-paced shoot 'em ups, it's great and it's a lot of fun. I think Battlefield does a better job at, there's like 30 on 30 over massive maps, and it takes a long time to achieve the objective. To me, the best Battlefield ever was Battlefield 1, set in World War I. I used to play that for hours, and like you actually have bullet drop compensation you have to think about. In Call of Duty, bullets fly straight forever. Like they never drop. But Battlefield, I think, attempted to really do it right. And to me, it's way more technical than Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just run as fast as you can, shoot as fast as you can, and there's like really nothing more than that.
Yeah. So recently they actually they turned the servers on for SOCOM confrontation. And so I got a bunch of my old teammates on, and you had to get a PS3 and you had to get on like a special DNS server.
So
And then
how did they like let it be known that the servers were on?
it was just word of mouth. I saw it
Mm.
online. I saw some guy making a video about him playing SOCOM confrontation. I was like, oh, let me watch this. And it said the video was 2 months old. I'm like, what? And man, I got so emotional playing that game. Like I had the best times in that game. It was so much fun. Dale Funduck says nerds. Yes, nerd alert. Let me tell you about nerds. So my kids started playing Pokemon, right? Off topic, right? We went to a Pokemon battle thing last night.
Dude.
Holy moly. I almost want to make my kids to stop playing.
Yeah,
It was like the Virgin Awards. Like,
I know, dude. It's like,
it was so bad.
as a dad, you're probably thinking, my kid is not going to be allowed at the cool kids table if he keeps hanging out at these freaking clubs, man.
So there was one guy, they called him the Wizard. And he's
Oh,
sitting there
damn.
playing 3 different games on like handhelds. And if you want to trade cards, because they're kids, they don't know what cards are worth money. You take the cards, you take it to the Wizard, and he'll go, "Oh, well, this card is worth $27.99." And oh my god, it was so like this. Oh man. So as we were leaving, I'm like, man, I hope my kids grow out of this quick.
Dude, I was 10 years old. I was 9 and 10 years old when Pokemon like hit America. I was in 5th grade. This is 1999 when Pokemon was huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
And I was absolutely obsessed with it when I was 10 years old. I remember it was so big. It was like banned. A bunch of schools were banning it. And I would take hour-long shits until my legs fell asleep because I was playing Game Boy Color. I was playing like Pokemon Red on my Game Boy Color, like eat, sleep, and breathe Pokemon. We'd wake up Saturday mornings. We'd watch Pokemon. You go to school. You would talk about the episode. You would trade cards. I remember. I can't remember the year, dude. It might have been like 8th grade. I remember I had this huge box of Pokemon cards I still had from the late 90s. And I was like, why do I still have all this stuff? And I remember throwing it all away. And then you fast forward, 20 years. And I think back, I'm like, damn, the amount of money. Like, I don't know. I'd probably never, I eventually would have thrown that stuff away anyway. But I always think back to that huge card collection. And it was all first edition stuff. Because I got into Pokemon when they first came out, like when there was 150 of them. And I just threw all that stuff away one day when I thought I was too old to like be holding on to childish things and let it all go.
Yeah, I gotta tell you. So, like, the kids were just trading cards, and I'm like, well. Then my daughter started trading cards. I'm like, well, let's go home and see what they're worth. They're worth like most of them are worth like a penny. My son has a couple that are worth like $25. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But that old stuff. I mean, some of the I think the Charizard is worth $1 million or something crazy.
Yeah, they trade for stupid money, and like we all had that stuff in the late '90s. Had the Charizards, had all the stuff you got on first editions, and I mean everyone had that stuff. Like we
Well,
all had that
before
stuff.
your time, I had Garbage Pail Kids. I had tons of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Back in the olden days.
And you know what? The one card game that kind of withstood the test of time was Magic. It was before Pokemon. There were kids, and when I was in high school, there was kids literally playing Magic at lunch all over the place. Still to this day, it's still a huge game. I never got into it, but I respect it because it never really went away. And like grown adults play it, and it doesn't have the same like stigma that like Pokemon or maybe even like the old Yu-Gi-Oh cards had.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope they grow out of it. They're opening a box right now, and I'm like, oh my god.
They will. Like eventually they'll grow up and they'll realize, you know, they'll be old enough to get into dating, and I'm sure I don't know, man. Current generations, who the hell knows what they're going to be into when they become young adults?
Did I tell you what? With the way AI is catching on, and the way that all the warehouses now are automated, I think the jobs of the future are going to be so scarce. It's going to be like the top 1% of 1% are going to be able to work and feed themselves. Like it's 20 years, 30 years from now, forget it.
And
You better
bro,
be the
think about
top
when
of
you
your
were a
game.
kid. Like what would you say when you were a kid was the biggest? What was the one thing that really could take your attention away from what you could be focusing on, like a distraction? What was like the biggest distraction when you were a kid?
Uh, as far as like in life,
Just anything. Like if you were at school, what would distract you? If you should have been doing your homework, what was the distraction? If I what
oh
I'm
heck,
get
man, anything. I was always like, I'd go outside and play in the dirt with my GI Joes.
Yeah, but think about now. Like everyone has a supercomputer distracting you 24/7 nonstop. Tick like swiping, watching TikTok videos. I was telling Rachel the other day, I'm like, dude, I don't know what do you think it's like being a kid nowadays when all kids have cell phones, they can see anything they want anytime they want to see it and have any answer to any test question they want. Now there's software that will write your essays for you, YouTube videos, it's spitting out the essays for YouTube videos and all these it's everything's just done for you.
I know. I
I have a
remember.
short attention span right now as an adult. Dude, I would be
Yeah,
terrible as a little kid trying to focus in school.
yeah. I remember. Heck, I remember getting the Sears catalog and looking in the lingerie section, going,
Yeah,
"Wow, my God, it's
damn.
crazy!" Now with your computer, you can go watch
And some hardcore
Two
stuff,
Midgets
anything
and a
you want.
Donkey. I
Yeah,
mean, it's bananas.
it's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Who remembers Pog? I mean, Pogs.
Yeah, Pogs. That was
I
mid
remember Pogs.
90s.
Hot Wheels. Texan 65s is the Hot Wheels. Man,
Dude,
I
I
wish I
was
would have
big
kept
into Hot Wheels
those.
as a kid.
Who doesn't? What's killing me is like now my that my son gets older, my wife's upstairs throwing out his toys. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, 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 no. Be careful what you throw out. She's like, oh, no one wants this Star Wars Lego, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, someone's gonna want that eventually.
They will. They
Yeah.
absolutely will.
Me, the people said squirrels distracted him. It's like the movie Idiocracy coming to fruition. That is
100%.
so scary.
100%. That
That
movie,
is
for as hokey and as dumb as it is, it's so accurate on
it's so
the
good.
trajectory of people just getting slowly more like mind-numbingly dumb generation after generation. Smart people don't make many babies. Dumb people make a lot of babies.
You
And
like
it's
boobs and guns? We should hang out.
yeah. Yeah.
That movie. Now that's one I could recite from memory. I love it.
Yeah. Say just do something smart. And he's like, you mean like water like from a toilet?
Yeah, he's like, lead follower, get out of the way. So I got out of the way. Tom Green was basically the Ow My Balls show from back then. That's true.
Yeah. And as much as I love Jackass, love it. I remember my uncle, who was a young uncle at the time, but I remember I was just so into Jackass when it came out, early 2000s, and he was like, dude, all these dudes are going to be really old one day. They're all going to have broken bones and their lives are going to be ruined. And people are going to say, man, was doing all this dumb shit so worth it? And as much as I love that show, you look at some of them now and it's just like, damn, maybe it
Yeah.
wasn't worth it.
Some of that stuff's pretty funny though, like when they were skateboarding through Japan in panda suits.
Oh, it's awesome. The show was awesome, super good. I'm not so sure that that was like the decline of Western civilization was like Jackass doing fart jokes and kicking each other in the nuts. I think now the decline of Western civilization is freaking TikTok videos, and you can become a superstar if you can keep people's attention for 15 seconds a day, every day, nonstop, every time you post. That is the modern decline of Western civilization.
100%. You know, it's funny. Everyone thinks TikTok is great, but you know, in China, they don't show any of those videos on TikTok. In China, the TikTok videos of their kids getting like promotions in school, being physically fit, all that garbage TikTok that we
Yeah.
watch, they don't show that in China at all.
Yeah.
TikTok in China is nothing but positive, family, masculine videos of just, you know, pro China propaganda. There's no girls in bikinis dancing around. There's none of that junk. No dancing. There's none of those dancing videos in China TikTok. It's all TikTok was invented to make people stupid. And I think it works. And plus when you agree to TikTok, any say you agree and you sign up on TikTok, any email that's affiliated with that account on any computer, you give TikTok permission to go into. So on your home computer, say you have TikTok on your phone and you are KLAYCO47 at yahoo.com. If that's on your home computer or on any other system, your laptop, you just give TikTok permission to go through all your shit on anything associated with that account. Not, you don't have to have TikTok on your home PC. If you read the fine print on TikTok, it's bananas. Do you have TikTok on your phone?
No.
Good.
I signed up for an account once, and I'm pretty sure it's gone now. I did it once because we were watching videos from Christina P on the Tom Segura podcast. And then I remember trying TikTok for a while. I didn't want to invest any time in it. I thought it was kind of dumb. It was not something I wanted to make videos on, so I didn't pursue it.
Yeah, I don't have time for that stuff. I'm falling behind on everything I have now.
See, a lot of people
Jeff
keep
Coleman.
asking about freaking Robskey.
Robskey, that's what. Have you met Robskey?
No,
Pirates Union. Any future content plans? Thoughts on Rumble? Have you met Robskey?
no future plans. Rumble's cool, but it's really, man, it's just
Not user friendly.
not user friendly. Not user friendly for viewers. Not user friendly for people putting the content on there. It's very difficult to operate. I've been trying to transfer all my videos over for weeks, and it never takes. It's been such a pain in the ass.
That was so easy for me though.
Not for
When
me.
you sign up?
It's literally been saying pending since I made the account weeks ago to
No
move all my
way.
stuff over.
That's bananas.
And I'm not, and I, dude, you know how long it would take to go one by one? Oh, for like
You should have just
250
uploaded
videos.
your entire catalog from YouTube.
No, so I've moved a few videos over manually. Those are good. Every time I've posted a video on YouTube since I opened the account, it duplicates. But as far as moving everything over, it's still right now to this day says everything's pending in my queue. But as far as Robskey goes, I'm not sure Robskey's a huge fan of mine, so I don't think any content would ever come out in the future.
Oh, why is that?
Man, he blocked me on Instagram a long time ago. It might have been like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
What'd you do?
I don't think it was something I did. I think I was guilty by association. Story time. This will only take like 2 minutes.
Let's go.
People are always asking me about Robskey, and here it freaking goes. Tony Hetty, my business partner, owns Kyber Customs. We do the t-shirt brand together, right? And the events. So Tony used to sell cheese graters. I think I've got one. Yeah, these right here. This is a cheese grater. Everyone knows these on AKs. Well, Tony started making those years ago, and he used to sell them on AK Files for a long time. Robskey popped onto AK Files one day and says, hey, those are really cool. I'd like to feature one in a video. So he does, and people start learning about cheese graters from a Robskey video that went kind of viral. And practically overnight, Tony really started selling more cheese graters. Eventually, Tony made a website and started selling these things all over the place. Robskey used to sell these things on his website, akoperatorsunion.com. So one day, I think Tony had been in business, I don't know, 2-3 years at this point. Long story short, Rob had been trying to get Tony to sell him more of these at like a highly reduced rate, I guess for like the celebrity thing, and I don't know what that it was their business. I'm just getting secondhand information, but the information I got, Robskey wanted to get them at such a low rate. Tony was not making any money on it to the point where it wasn't even worth selling them to another dealer, because Tony sells all this stuff on his own website. He doesn't need distributors. But it was nice for Tony having those things on the Robskey website. Anyways, I guess Rob didn't like that answer. He blocks Tony, the Kyber Customs page, the next day and starts selling Palmetto State Armory cheese graters at a cheaper price. Shortly thereafter, Tony was saying, "Hey man, it's weird. It's like, I think Robskey blocked me and now he's selling someone else's cheese grater, so that's funny." And then I was like, "Man, that's weird." And I looked at my phone. I was like, "Holy shit, I'm blocked too. I wonder why that is. I wonder it's because we like work together." And Tony's like, "I can't believe he would do that. What a petty thing to do." I'm like, "Damn, that's weird. I've never spoken to the guy, never met the guy. Used to watch all of his content. Loved Robski." Then I'm like, "Damn, the guy blocked me just because I like work with Tony and he wanted to block Tony because Tony wouldn't drop his prices on cheese graters." And that's the story with AK Operators Union. That's kind of how all that went down.
Not cool.
Never spoke to the guy, never met him, never really been in the same place as him either. I think he's cool. I love his videos. I watched him for a long time, but man, sometimes it's like don't meet your heroes. I've met some people that I really idolized on YouTube and other things, and they've been freaking awesome. Brandon's a great example of that. Just an awesome dude that gets hate, but when you meet him in person, he'll change your mind. Robski, kind of the same thing. Like, probably the leading channel on the internet when it comes to AK content. He was like doing it before anyone does at like a really high level, specifically on AKs. But then, one bad experience, and not only will he excommunicate one guy, he'll excommunicate the dude's friends that happen to be a big fan of his.
Excommunicadoed.
That happened to be a really big fan of his at the time, and I was just like, damn, that really sucks, man. It kind of sours the whole enjoying the AKOU channel thing for me. I really used to enjoy it, but hey, that's what happens. That's the gun world for you. It's very cutthroat.
Maybe. I don't know. CNT Designs just joined. What's up, buddy? Dale Funduck, Bourbon and Coke. I like that. So I recently got to go to CMMG up in Boonville, Missouri for an event.
Oh, nice.
And man, it was a trip. It was a trip. I actually tried bourbon for the very first time. I don't really drink alcohol. Besides, like, I don't know, Red Bull and vodka. That was the big drink. So I just had some bourbon and Coke for the very first time. It was delicious. Had about 37 of them.
Man, the CMMG guys know how to party. They're always so fun to hang out with at events.
Yeah. Tim Harper, come meet up at the Wallmaker Gun Show in Tulsa, the Tulsa Arms Show. When is that, the Tulsa Arms Show?
So have you heard about that show? It's like one of the biggest in the country.
I've been.
You've been there. Okay.
It's banana pants.
Yeah, I want to go. Everyone keeps telling me that it's so cool.
Well, try and go Friday. Do you know anybody that has a booth there?
I might. I don't know. I know there's an ass load of people that go.
Well, Friday is a setup day. You need Friday, Saturday for sure. So I try and go Friday. That's when all the dealers start doing deals with each other. So they set up and then they start walking around cutting deals, and they're dropping cash, like cash. I mean, there's a lot of good, amazing guns. Some of the stuff you'll never see in your life. Cannons.
Have you bought a gun recently? I just bought one 2 days ago.
I didn't buy one, but I picked one up. I got a double stack 45 Rock Island Armory 1911. 14+1. Very cool gun. But I don't like the finish on it. Rock Island is famous for having kind of a shitty finish. So I might go get it Cerakoted. Something cool.
Beat it up. Give it like a well-worn finish. Like, do it yourself.
Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
It'd be kind of cool. That's very hot right now. Like worn finishes.
You guys need to meet and shoot together. We actually go to the same gun range, and we have shot together. I got to shoot his Keep Your Wife's Name Out Your Mouth magazine through a full auto AK, which was the highlight. That's probably one of the highlights of my 2022.
Yeah, I need to bring more machine guns out. We need to plan a day and just not just like go and hang out, but actually plan like a film day where I bring out some of the big boy toys. And oh dude, we got 3 machine guns back that are awesome. 2 of them I've never seen sampled before. I don't want to give it away, but I've got 2 guns I will eventually make a video on that I've literally never seen anyone make go full auto before. They're very common guns, and it's going to be freaking awesome. Super Geo Killer, you're going to enjoy them.
They're gonna blow up a Geo. Smash, what up, brother? Great to see Klay on the show, aka Master Race. Yeah, it's funny. Klay, do you ever get a lot of like hate when you try and pick up an AR or something else that's not an AK?
Uh, on Instagram, I've noticed anytime I post anything non-AK related, it definitely gets way less interaction. So I don't think a lot of the Instagram people are that into it. On YouTube, some of my biggest videos happen to be AR videos, but they're like very specific. Like I did like a Call of Duty Commando video. I used to do all the North Hollywood Dissipator videos. Those would always do really well. But just like me at the range with a basic ass AR, I probably wouldn't even make a video like that. It would have to be something really retro, really special. And
Yeah.
if I keep it retro, I've noticed a lot of the AK guys are still kind of into it. If it's like a modern, free floated AR, the audience that I have right now, I don't think would be into that at all.
No. Tim Hopper says April 1st, 2nd, 2023. You know what? Heck, if you want to go, I'll drive.
April 1st. Dude, that's right before the wedding. Rachel would kill me. When's the second time? If it's twice a year, what's the second date?
It's towards the end of the year.
Oh, damn.
I want to say like November.
Well, I'm going to be free at the end of the year, so I'll try to make that one.
I want to go to the Wallmaker show. That would be pretty sweet. I went 3 years ago, and it just blows your mind. Like, and my buddy has a table there, so when I buy stuff, I just drop it off at his table and pick it up. Or if I was gonna fly out, and he can just drive anything I buy back for me, which is cool. I might do that.
And it's in Arkansas, right?
Oklahoma.
Dude, that's
7
an easy
hours
drive.
north.
That's an easy drive. I get free gas. We'll take my company truck. I get free gas.
Shoot. Let's do that. All right. Let's see. Any other questions for Klay before he goes? Klay, you got me. You got to tell me I will still give you my Sega Sporter Make Full Turbo.
Oh yeah, we want to. I want to post sample of sporterized AK. Like, don't deban it at all. Like Monte Carlo stock, trigger moved back, just looking stupid, and make it go full auto. Like what really gets me going is like post sampling really stupid guns. Like everyone shoots full auto ARs and all this stuff, but shooting like a full auto 90s era Mac 90 or like an AK with like a thumb hole stock from the 90s, but it still goes full auto would be super fun.
Like a Mini 30 would be pretty sweet.
Mini 30 would be cool. We have a Mini 14 that's on the floor behind me that we want to post sample and cut the barrel down to have what do they call those? It's like a Ruger AC 5.56 folding stock short barrel full auto Mini 14 from like the late 80s early 90s. That's in the works, like an 18 version.
Cool. Well, man, Lethal Weapon sounds like if you're not going, you're a nobody. If you don't go to Lethal Weapons and you live within 30 miles, you're a loser. No,
if you don't go to Lethal Weapons, you probably wipe your ass standing up, which, as you know, is not normal. You should wipe your ass sitting down
with your cheek.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting, by the way. Also, I told my wife what that was, and she Googled it. She goes, "That's disgusting."
Yeah. Someone posted a meme today. It was Elaine and George Costanza arguing, and she's like, "You can't just use a drain as a toilet." And he goes, "It's pipes. It's all the same thing."
Oh, that's where George gets kicked out of the gym for peeing in the shower.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're like, "You get out of the shower to go pee?"
Yeah. The meme was Klay explaining to Rachel why waffle stomping is normal.
So when are the shirts coming out? Bro.
Haven't designed a logo or a design yet, and it's so easy. It's literally just a dude stepping on some waffle mags, and boom, you got a waffle stomp. But we haven't designed it yet. I want to. I at least want to make some slaps, some stickers.
Come on. That should have been done. I know. It's not like you don't got other shit to do right now.
We just made like 5 new shirt designs because the website's like wiped out on shirts. We made 5 new designs. You're gonna be able to buy them at Lethal Weapons, and they're also gonna be up on the website. Finally making a KLAYCO shirt again. Haven't made one of those in like a year. So we'll
I
have
could
those as
really go
well.
for a black KLAYCO hat, by the way.
I don't have
Super
black
Geo.
KLAYCO hats.
I need all black. Don't It doesn't show the sweat stain.
Yeah,
Can
it's
I
cute.
uh can I strap a VHS camcorder to my rifle at Lethal Weapons? That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I wonder
There
if
was a
anybody has one of those old VHS camcorders walking
Yeah, there was
around.
a guy filming Kalash Bash with it, and he actually like produced a video that looked like it was filmed in the '90s. It was super cool.
Where's that? Is it on YouTube?
It's on his Instagram. It might be on YouTube. I know he's posted it on Instagram as
Can you
well.
send me the link to that? Because that'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'll try to find his account.
Eagle Lake is down the street. With Texan 65, you need to go, buddy.
Bro, there are people. We literally have a guy flying in from Germany to go to this thing. If you live down the street, you got
Oh,
no
that guy's
excuse.
coming back?
Yeah, he's gonna stay at our house a couple days before,
He's
help
a
us
cool
load the
dude.
truck. No, dude, Pascal's awesome. He's coming to Texas for like 2 full weeks, so he's gonna go see the Alamo. He's gonna do all the Texasy stuff, and then he's gonna finish off his trip with Lethal Weapons.
So it's funny, all the jerks. I used to work for a German freight forwarder, two actually. And every time they come to town, I would always pick them up at the airport. And they always want to do two things: they want to go get a big ass steak, and they want to go shoot guns, in that order. And I can't tell you how many times we've gone from like Taste of Texas straight to the gun range, and they're just like, "Yeah, man, fuck yeah, oh yeah, I love it, I love it." Crazy,
Dude, that's so funny.
dude. Germans go bananas. And they
Yeah.
won't, and they go, "Don't tell anybody that we did this." Yeah, I'm like, all right, what you want to make him? Well, he's a young kid, but any older Germans, you want to really freak him out. Take him to Dallas and go to the Dallas TV show movie set where they do the tours. Where they used to do Dallas the TV show.
Oh,
In Germany, that was bigger than Knight Rider. That Dallas TV show was huge.
oh wow, I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, I took this one guy there. We're doing sales calls in Dallas, and he goes, "Michael, I have a favor to ask you." I'm like, "Shit, am I getting fired? What's going on?" And he goes, "Can we go here after our next sales call?" I was like, "Great, sounds good. What is it?" And then we ended up going on the whole tour. We rode the bus around. We got to go see JR's car where he got shot, oh man, it was crazy. The guy was almost in tears
Wow.
because it was such a big part of his life growing up in Germany, man. It was crazy. That was a big show.
It's like that scene in that movie Road Trip where they get diverted, they end up in like Albania or some shit, and this dude walks out of his house, he goes, "Hey, Miami Vice, #1 show." He's like, literally, it's like a brand new show, and he's watching it on his TV, and they're like, "Yeah, man, Miami Vice,"
That is funny.
which I have been watching a lot of lately. Miami Vice has a YouTube channel where they have uploaded every single episode and every season in like high quality. That
No
show
kidding.
still stands up. It is such a good show even to this day. So well done.
Some shows don't. Like I was watching Xena. That was a big show.
Well, yeah, that's not even in
terrible.
the same league. No, Miami Vice still to this day, dude. It's high quality. The gunfights look really real. Like the acting's pretty good. It's just good. The cars are awesome. It's a good show.
Yeah, I was watching the A-Team, and when you're a kid, it's amazing. The older you get, it's kind of cool. Like Married with Children stands up. Three's Company is still funny as shit.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good shows that are still. Three's Company, I think, was before your time.
I used to watch it as a kid. The reruns.
Married with Children is still an amazing show.
I used to watch that. I used to watch Sanford and Son all the time as a little kid. I would have like babysitters, and I remember watching Sanford and Son all day.
All right, one last question. KLAYCO, you ever hear anything from the crew of Mead Fueled Rants?
Yeah, bummer they don't make live streams anymore. So I know Anthony stepped away from the show. Or maybe he did. I know Angela Verdun stepped away from the show, and I think Anthony may have too. So whatever caused all of that, they're all still friends, but man, that could have been one of the coolest if they would have stuck with it. That was some of the most fun live streams to be a part of. Everyone's drinking, everyone's laughing, having a good time. It was so fun. They just don't do it anymore.
Yeah. All right, now this is the last question. Greg Johnson, what gun would you buy if money wasn't an issue? You go first.
No, you go first because I'm going to have to think about it. I
What
like you,
gun?
if I wasn't on the spot, I know I could answer this.
You know what? I would get an original Tommy gun in the suitcase with the round mag, and I think that would be a really cool gun. That'd be a pretty sweet gun to get.
Damn. Oh, okay, I know. Because I want one right now, and it's not even the coolest thing out there. I want a 7.62 by 39 belt fed RPD. That's the one gun that I drool over all the time. They're like kind of attainable, like $7,500 attainable, and they're very easy to post sample, and they're easy to have a suppressor. It's easy to get optics on them, and they're
An
just so stinking
RPD?
cool. An RPD. It's a belt fed machine gun that shoots 7.62 by 39. So they take cheap ammo, they shoot really fast, they're really reliable, the belts are easy to find, and they look awesome. So an
Nice.
RPD is top of my list.
Dale says dual 50 cal M2. That'd be kind of sweet.
I really want a Barrett as well. Tony and I are scraping some money together to try to find one.
Didn't you guys just give out a 50 cal at Kalash Bash?
Yeah, it wasn't a Barrett, but it was a bolt action 50 cal.
Hey, it could be you. You need to go to Lethal Weapons. So you guys up to 75,000 in giveaways?
Yeah, but then we found out what IWI was giving away, and if everyone shows up with their prizes, it's going to be more like six figures. And here's what's crazy. At Kalash Bash, we had 1,000 people, and the prize table, I think, was like 70 grand. There's only like 500 people so far coming to Lethal Weapons, and the prize table might be like 100K. You've never had more chances to win shit ever. Way more value on the prize table. There's fewer people than Kalash Bash coming. Like, dude, IWI called and said what they wanted to do for giveaways. I added it up. It's like $22,000 in guns from one vendor,
Dude,
all given away at freaking random. Totally random. You don't have to buy anything. You can bomb at the match. Doesn't matter. Most of that stuff's given away totally at random. All you have to do is stay there for the award ceremony on Sunday. If you're not there, we skip you and we go to the next number that we pull. You have to be there.
Dale says you can shoot his. Oh, he just recently got a 50 cal. Look at that. He's got
Ooh-wee.
the DE Desert Eagle and the 50 cal. We can make that a whole day.
Let me touch it all over the places. I'm ready.
Well, hey, man, Clay, thank you so much, man. I know Lethal Weapons is going to be fantastic because if it's anything like Kalash Bash, it's going to crush, So, again, thank you so much for coming on. Do you want to say anything to the people in the chat?
Yes. Next time you take a poop, those of you that stand and wipe, I really want you to think about what you're doing. You might think that's how everyone in the world wipes their ass. It's not. Most people lean, they wipe front to back. Maybe hit it with a dude wipe when you're done, little baby wipe, or if you got a bidet, hit it. If you're going to stand and wipe your butt when your booty cheeks come together and make a big squishy, gross mess, think about what you're doing. If you're going to do that, you might as well waffle stomp and take a shower afterwards. And that's my final thought.
Good night, everybody.